All right, so everybody, we're John's not with us. I'm not quite sure why. He was supposed to meet us on here at 6:15, but we're here with Sheriff Carpinelli from Lewis County, who's going to talk about the responsibilities of a county sheriff. And then for like the next 10, 15 minutes, if John doesn't jump on, we'll keep him on for the whole half hour. That's all. So, Sheriff Carpinelli, go ahead. Let us know what are the responsibilities, and then talk about what the future holds for you, like, in the near future, what your plans are.
All right, Charles. Well, it's good to be with you again. It's been a little while, and it's great to see your face and see you smiling. And thanks for having me on. As you stated, this is going to be my last term. I'm running for re-election again this year. We'll see what happens, but I plan to be this my last 4-year term. It's been an honor doing this great job for the people in my county. Now, you asked, what are the duties of a county sheriff? What is it to be? Number one above all, it is to protect and serve and keep life and property safe in the county that you're elected into. Those people, you're their elected law enforcement officer. It's one of the only highest spots, in the county, in the state, or the country for any sheriff. Being elected as their law enforcement officer for them, and it comes with great responsibility. You're in charge of a jail. That means taking care of the inmates that are in your facility. You have to keep them safe, as well as I should say, you have to keep them safe. You have to keep their mental health, in the right place. They're there to serve a debt to society. You have to keep your men and women that also work inside that facility as well, the correction officers, in a good environment, in a safe environment for them. So they get home to their families at the end of the day, end of the night. And the other part of a sheriff's job is that you have a civil division, which involves it could be collecting debts that are due civilly, that are put on by the courts during a court hearing, that a person is found to have to pay back a certain company, i.e. a credit card company, mortgage company, that kind of thing. So it comes with great responsibility and trust, being a sheriff to the people. But that's who you are, the sheriff too. Not to your government, not to your state government. Now some other people in our profession might say, well, you have to answer to certain things, and yes, I do. Yes, I do have to answer to certain things. But mainly, I answer to the people. That is who in the end decides whether I stay as their elected law enforcement official in their county or not. So, biggest thing is don't lose the trust of the public. If you lose the trust of the public, it's over. You have to have their back. You have to have their rights. I'll say it right here again. I'll start all over with that. The Constitution stands 100%. That's what I answer to. That's what holds me in place. That's what grounds me. That's what my heart is. That's what I follow. The people started that Constitution over 200 years ago, and by God, it's going to stay there in place.
You froze up a little bit there. Hey, I have a question for you. I think I know what the answer is. But so let's say, for instance, the Fed, right? When they come in to arrest somebody, are they supposed to contact you if they plan on coming in to arrest somebody? Or is it, I believe, this is my opinion, I believe that they're supposed to, but that doesn't necessarily happen all the time.
You are right about that. There's a level of professional courtesy, that should be extended amongst all law enforcement. But being that you are the chief law enforcement officer in that county, you would think that when an outside entity comes in to conduct any business that has to do with your civilian population, you would want to be notified of that. Absolutely, 100%. That didn't happen one time down in Albany County a couple of years back, to a sheriff there. And when I got a phone call from the citizens where this was occurring at, where they were being arrested, right away reached out to that sheriff and gave him a phone call That's the kind of camaraderie we have on this job. And he took care of the situation there and responded for that citizen. So yes, yeah.
There's some you're breaking up a little bit, I think. Breaking up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I know you're way up there, so I know you have like bad connection sometimes. But so they're supposed to. I mean, by law, are they supposed to, or is that just a courtesy thing?
You know, that's up for debate, unfortunately, in the state of New York. With organization stuff. And I can tell you in the South and Midwest, that's a whole different situation out there. I think that we try to play sometimes, as they say, too nice, and it's not extended back, especially with this DOJ that we have today. So,
right. Oh boy, I know. So you're running again for another 4 years, and you've been. Is this you're going for your what, fourth term or third term? Which one is it?
It'll be my fourth term. It'll be my fourth term. Yes, sir.
So you're out right now getting petitions and stuff done, right?
That's correct. We are. Yes.
And you need all the people you can get, because I'll tell you what, a lot of people here in Western New York, you're in Lewis County, but a lot of people in Western New York love you here, and but I know you need help in Lewis County to get the petitions, because how many petitions do you actually need? How many signatures do you need?
Well, to be on the safe side, right around 500, and we're doing really well so far. Thanks to the people here in this county again, and the volunteers are out there, and I have to, of course, put a big shout out to my wife as well. So we work together good as a team, and she's been very helpful with that. So we're doing good.
I'll tell you, she's a sweetheart. She really is. I love Vicky. So only like 500, but now, are you finding any kind of? You ran for governor, all right? Let's tell everybody that you ran for governor, and I'll tell you what, you were scaring people because you are for the Constitution, you are for people's rights and stuff. You are scaring people. Do you find any resistance right now? Like even like running for sheriff, are you getting like any resistance from anybody they're trying to push out there that maybe might not be for the Constitution?
Well, not too much resistance. There's been a handful that were upset that I guess that I ran for governor, while I was sheriff. But it was the right time to do it. That's why I did it, and I was glad to do it. I was proud to do it, and there was more positive than there was negative. And at this point right now, yeah, I do have an opponent that's running on that we're going to have we'll see when the signatures come in. We're going to have a primary, and that's fine. That's this process is all about in the United States. So I'm all good with it.
Yeah, primaries are good because it actually brings up a lot of to me, primaries brings up a lot of subjects, like a lot of things that are going on, brings it to the forefront. A lot of what's that word I'm looking for? Conversation about different things that are going on. It brings it to the forefront. It brings out the debate of different things that are bad and good.
It does. We haven't had that opportunity yet, but if it comes along, I look forward to it. Like you say, and you said, to me, the most important thing in our county is the people, their safety, their mental health, well-being, and to feel secure in their everyday life that they live here in Lewis County. That's what's important to me and to the men and women that work the road patrol in this agency. So, we do have a drug problem in our county, as many places do. We have a fantastic narcotics team out there that does great work. We're definitely putting, as they say, a hit on the bad guys. We're going to keep on doing that. So that's a crucial thing, especially when it comes to the youth in our society. If we can keep a lot of these drugs out of our county and send a loud and clear message to the outsiders that want to come in here and try to pull their shenanigans, don't do it in Lewis County because we're going to get you.
Sheriff, you remind me of a bull. Like if somebody comes at you, you're going to go at him like a bull. But seriously, but I don't know. Like a lot of people don't realize this that the sheriff is the highest law enforcement in the land. They're the highest law enforcement because they're elected by the people. They're there to serve the people and protect the people's rights. And I believe that that's what you do there in Lewis County. You're always looking out for the people's rights, and that everybody knows this. I mean, I've been pushing this out there for the last couple of years about you helping that one person they had problems when he called that with his father, and you were there with a trooper and all this stuff. And you have a big heart. You have a big heart, but don't it's almost like you have a big heart, but you're not going to get messed with either. You'll turn into that bull. That's how I see it. You know? I mean, if you start running after me, I'm running in the other direction. All right, I'm getting out of Dodge. But anyhow,
I like to say, Charles, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But you know, if I get poked, you got it.
Exactly. Them bullhorns are coming out. Yeah. Anyways, I'm surprised John's not on. I'm not quite sure. Let me look at something real quick here. Let me see if he even looked at it. Which is odd because I hope he's all right. I hope everything's going on with John Smalden right now. Because it's odd that I messaged him. He hasn't returned the message or nothing. He hasn't even looked at it. You know. So anyway, so you're doing good with the petitions. So you think you're going to get the petitions probably easily then? Do you need help there in Lewis County or?
No, I appreciate it. We're doing really good right now with the volunteers and the citizens that are here. So thank you though for the offer. We're doing great, and that's why I say that. That's why I do the job that I do and that I want to do because of the people here in our county. I always say Lewis County. I know that people, you know, in another place where I live, they're unique too. But I can tell you that Lewis County is a very genuine, a unique place. You know, we're up here just outside the Adirondack Mountains from the Tug Hill Plateau. We're surrounded by a couple other counties that have larger cities in their counties. Now we don't have that in Lewis County, but what we do have though is the influx of people coming in from those other cities to our area to enjoy our county and a lot of the recreation that we have here. You know, i.e. in snowmobiling or in ATVing, skiing, and hunting and that kind of thing. So and even people come from far and around also for a lot of our great restaurants that we have. And we're also very well known for our maple syrup. And right now, during this time of the year, the maple syrup season's in full swing. And I have to admit, I have been known to stop into an occasional sugar bush. They call the places where they make the maple syrup. It's like a little log cabin, rough building where the guys spend quite a few hours keeping the fires going, collecting the syrup and boiling it through the day and through the night. And yeah, I've been like a bear at times, known to knock on the door and look for a little taste of syrup.
Right. Hey, so you know something? I was talking to John. We were talking about when you were running for governor, and the petitions. You struggled a little bit with the petitions, but you had a lot of support from, especially I'm thinking a lot of in Western New York. There's a lot of us here in Western New York that everybody I talked to, all the different organizations, they loved you. It was like, oh, love Sheriff Mike Carpinelli. Everybody loved you because they knew that you're for people's rights and stuff, and that's very important to a lot of people. A lot of organizations in Western New York here, but when we were talking, when you endorsed Andrew Giuliani, as soon as I saw that video of you and I was telling John, I go right then and there, I trusted what you're doing. It was like right off the bat, I trusted you what you were doing, and went all right. Like we talked about, like when I told John, I was like at first I thought he was running off his father's coattails. Because I didn't know nothing about it. But as soon as you endorsed him, then I started looking into him and going, yeah, this guy's for real also. And now I understand why you endorsed him. But
Andrew's a good man.
He is a good man. And I'll tell you what, I want to get him on here with his father. All right, because I met both of them in Buffalo. And we did that whole video there with Rudy Giuliani with the grassroots people supporting Andrew. I don't know if you ever saw that video or not. But I'd like to get him on here because what we really want to do is like, my vision is this is like, yeah, call out the BS in New York politics when it's there.
Oh.
But also try to get people to think, you know, that's why I like to understand what a sheriff's job is. People don't really know, you know, people are like voting for a sheriff. They don't really know what their job really entails. So, and to find people, we need more people that are for the Constitution, that are for people's rights. And here in New York, in a bad way, we need it in a bad way. I know some people that ran as constitutional sheriffs that I liked, but we need that to spread all across New York because you're really our last line of defense when it comes to a lot of things, and people don't really realize that.
Well, it's true. Yeah, I stated it before, and I'll say it again. You know, I always tell the citizens in my county that if they feel that their rights, that their front door is being trampled on without a lawful cause warrant, without a judicial process, that will come there personally and stand between them and the entity that's coming there to attempt to either kick in their door or make that arrest. Let's do things peacefully in a good manner. And if we have to have a conversation with a federal agency, then by God, that's what the local sheriff should do. He should be there for the people to do that.
Yeah, it's really why, because a lot of people don't realize that either. They don't realize the actual, and you don't have to say it. I'm going to say it. They don't realize the power that the sheriff has. All right, you don't realize the power that the sheriff has, and the government. The more you go up, they're going to make it sound like it's nothing, but it's really there because you're the only elected official by the people, and that's why it's not a. And I love the idea that it's how it's written. It's not how it's perceived. You know that we talked about that before.
That's right.
Whenever I hear how it's perceived, it turns me off right off the bat. But
I'll tell you, like I say, it's in my heart. I guess I've been in law enforcement for a long time now. And they say it's never too long. But if you have people there that enjoy the work they do, that their heart is in it, that they have the faith in their in God, in what you do, and you stay grounded, you stay humble, then keep going and work and defend the people of your area. And there's other good sheriffs out there that I work with on the state of New York. Sometimes maybe tend to be a little more quiet about things. Others are vocal. There are those that go to Albany and put a good fight up for us. So it's one big team effort across the state of New York. But yeah, Charles, are there times that I wish that we were a little more, I'll say, a little more ruckus with a governor? You're darn right we were. There's a lot of trying to, as they say, reach across the aisle sometimes. The go along, get along type thing. Listen, I get along when I get the respect that we give to them. We don't get it after giving it to them. That's sorry. We're not going to play that game. And we're going to take care of the people in our counties. So
the golden rule, right? Treat others how you want to be treated.
It is. And I'll tell you, right now, what's going on in Albany right now is a prime example of this. Look at Governor Hochul. She's there. She's attempting to roll back some parts of the bail reform. And who's she getting pushback from? Her own damn party. And she's getting it from, unfortunately, the people that have subversively taken over the party. And that's your socialist thinking, wanting to tear apart the Constitution, want to tear apart the right of the people to do things. And unfortunately, the same people that are complaining about this are the ones that made these children. They made this whole situation, and they let them get out of control. They didn't follow them closely enough. They didn't steer them in the right direction in that party, and now we have to deal with them. And Governor Hochul is smacking a bullseye of this group, and she has got a hard fight ahead of her. I do have to say this. I give her credit right now at this point for fighting, for that bail reform. I do. That doesn't mean we're going to sit down and have a cup of coffee together either, and a donut over that.
What's up with we got about 5 more minutes. What's up with the your thoughts on the camps that are going on that the courts struck down as unconstitutional, and she's trying to appeal it right now? Do you have any thoughts on that, or you just want to wait until it plays out to see before you?
No, that's right. What part was that, John? Frank, Charles, I missed that last part there that you said about what
So they struck down because they were looking for the camps for if people were sick. I forgot what bill it's called.
Oh, COVID camps.
What's that?
The COVID camps, right?
Exactly. And then it was struck down. It was struck down by the courts, but then she's trying to appeal it right now and try to get it back in again.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'll say this right to the people right now. Be alert, stay, and just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You're darn right. If there is another so-called, don't me upset some people. They're going to scam them again. Please, this time, ask the harder questions. Just don't roll over and give up so easily. there is some very subversive things. Not only does the New York State government want to do, but our federal government also as well. These camps are still in play. The rules that they want to have to be able to pick anybody up the next time something comes about is still in play. But the thing that I always question is who's going to pick them up? It damn well better not be the sheriff's offices. And if it's going to be the state police, I want to see that because they didn't participate last time around in any of the functions. It was never the state police making arrests. If you saw that in the last problem that we had here in the state of New York with that, they were trying to force sheriff's offices and other city police departments and town PDs to enforce that. Next time, make the troopers do it. Say, hey guys, if this is the rule that you follow under your king or queen that rules over you, you guys do it. Not in any disrespect to the state police, to the hardworking troopers out there. I want to make sure people know that.
There's some good.
But I can tell you this: there is absolutely. We work with them every day. But by God, us as I can tell you that in my county, we are not. I am not going to ever, enforce something like that against the people. That's just ridiculous.
Well, a lot of sheriffs stood down a couple years ago. A lot of them stood down. A lot of sheriffs stood down and said, "No, we're not going to do certain things." I won't bring up, what they were talking about, but a lot of them did stand down.
There's a lot of money involved in it, Charles. That's the problem. There's a lot of federal funding being thrown around. There's a lot of state funding being thrown around during the COVID period that agencies were using or taking advantage of for things. And if you didn't cooperate, you weren't getting that funding. You weren't getting that funding. That's what it comes down to is money. And if anybody gets upset with me for saying that, well, too bad. That's what it's all about. It's about the money. It's not about the people.
Sure, you always just speak your mind. That's what I love about you. Just speak. You don't care.
Well,
this is how it is. This is how it is. You do that all the time. This is how it is. People don't like it. I don't care. But I think that's why most of you know what it is. A lot of times when people are running for something or whatever, people want. I think people are done with the political correctness stuff. I think people want to see more people just going, hey, they're like us. They're like us. They act like us. They talk like us. They're not. The whole suit and tie stuffy person. I think people are just tired of that. And I think that's why you relate to a lot of people, because you're just out there saying, hey, this is how it is. Bam.
Well, that's how it should be. You are not just because you get elected by the people. That's all it is. It's just an elected title. You still are that person. You're part of the public. You're part of the family of the area that you're in. And if you turn back on family, that's no good.
I have something else I want to bring up that I was thinking about actually a couple of weeks ago was the sheriffs. I'd like to know, when did the whole sheriff running for sheriff become a Republican Democrat thing? All right.
Yeah, I know it, Charles. I don't know, and I've always said this, and I say it again here in this election. I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican, conservative. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, if you win an election, you now represent everybody in that county. That means you represent every Democrat, you represent every conservative, and you may even have to represent a couple of communists or socialists there. But you know what? If they live in your area and they're law-abiding and they deserve the protection and they're citizens of the United States, well, then by God, that's your job to do.
Exactly. No matter what. Exactly, because you took an oath, and that's what you do.
That's right.
It would just be nice if the whole sheriff election thing just got rid of the whole party thing and just think about the person,
That would make things a little more smooth at times, I should say, and probably not so emotional as things get once in a while,
Yeah, I'm just saying that's, to me, it's ridiculous that there's like a party involved with that. But anyhow, Sheriff Carpinelli, how can people reach you? How can people, you have websites out there? What's going on? How can people reach you?
I still have my Facebook page up that I've had for quite a while. It's still there. Sheriff Mike Carpinelli. Another person put out there helped us out with re-elect Sheriff Mike Carpinelli. You can go on Facebook and see it. I haven't put too much on that, and I will soon coming up. They say right now in the process of gathering the signatures, to see if there's going to be a primary or not. As soon as we find out that both contenders have a primary coming up, you'll see a lot more of me on there.
Cool. Keep us updated. All right. There's a lot
Absolutely,
of,
Charles.
there's a lot of people,
Absolutely.
a lot of people in Western New York, not even in your county, they're still interested. They want to make sure you get in there. Telling you right now, so
Well,
keep us updated.
I will, Charles. You know what? That's one thing I tell you. After running the governor's race, it was such an honor, and I couldn't be more proud. People are leaving New York State, as we know.
Yes.
Do I blame them? Absolutely not. I get it. We've been putting a hard fight for the last going on almost 15 years. Come up with the different regimes that we've had, and the politics, has gotten worse coming out of New York City. But you know what? It's awful funny that this same group of people that want to try to run the rest of the state stick around in New York City because they're too afraid to come out to the rest of the state and put their shenanigans in. Because the people out in the western part of the state, the people up in the North Country, in the true North Country, aren't going to tolerate their BS, and we'll always push back and fight. So, I still love the state of New York. It's where I was born. That's where I was raised, and I don't want to give it up. I'm not ready to give it up.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere either. All right, Sheriff Carpinelli, got to go. Keep in touch, and good luck, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Charles, thank you. And if you find John, let me know later.
Right. It's not where's Waldo, it's where's John. What's going on here? Right. All right, Sheriff.
Take care. Thanks very much, Charles. Take care.
All right, you too. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.